welcome to today's lesson, Principles of Marketing, BBM 1242, a unit offered in the Department of Management, School of Business and Economics. And I'm your facilitator, Susan Nyokabe. We are going to start today's lesson by understanding the marketing mix elements. Today, our lesson will be looking at what is referred to in marketing as the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps of marketing. And this is where marketing revolves around. So the 4 Ps include the product, price, place, which is also referred as distribution, and promotion. The marketing mix has, as we have mentioned them, has various variables under each one of them. If you look at the product mix, we have things to do with the brand. That's why we have the brand name, the style, the color, the design, the product line, the package, the warranty, and the services. We also look at the price mix. Here we have a mistake. It's supposed to be price mix. And with the price mix, we are supposed to have the pricing strategy, the pricing policy, basic price, the terms of credits, allowances, discounts, etc. Then we have what we call the other P, that is promotion. And promotion involves personal selling, sales promotion, advertising, public relations, or what we also call publicity, and direct marketing. Then we have the other P, the place, and this is all about distribution. And this involves the distribution channels, that is the wholesalers, the retailers, and the merchandise agents, the people we call the channel members. Also the physical distribution, that is transport, warehousing, inventory, and so on. So we'll find that when you look at this diagram or figure, it basically outlines everything that you need to know about the 4 Ps. But we need also to discuss the extended marketing mix. We have what we call the 4 Ps, the product, the price, the promotion, and place. But we also usually have the extended marketing mix. The extended marketing mix is the physical evidence, the processes, and the people. And these ones only apply to services, because with the 4 Ps, they are more applicable to tangible goods. But because of the nature of services, they have the extended marketing mix, which is the physical evidence, the processes, and the people. And when you look at for example, when you're dealing with services, because of their nature, you find that the physical evidence gives you evidence that this particular service takes place at this particular premises, the ambience, the ease of movement, the layout, and so on. Then we have the processes, and these are the transaction processes, the website design, the operation support, or the procedures, the systems that are in place that involve a particular task to be performed or a particular service to be performed. Then we have the people. Remember, services are all around people. They involve people. They are delivered by people. They happen to people. And for that reason, the customer service, the skill, the experience, the customer relationship management are key when it comes to the marketing mix. We also have some 4 Cs that correspond to the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps, you'll find it seems to take the seller's view rather than the buyer's view. For that reason, therefore, the 4 Cs are better classification. They allow the buyer's view to be represented in the 4 Ps. So for the 4 Cs, they correspond to each of the 4 Ps. So when you have the product, a product, what it offers is what we call the product solution, basically the customer solution. It's about meeting the customer's needs and wants. So Then we have the price. It's all about cost. The price is all about cost. How much is the customer supposed to pay for a particular product? Then for the place is all about convenience. Remember, is distribution, is ensuring that the products are available easily and accessible to the customer at any point or from wherever they are. And then the other P is the promotion, and promotion is all about creating awareness, informing, persuading, reminding the customers about what is expected, so, or what is in the market. So for that reason, the other C that goes for the 4P, that is promotion, is communication. So let's look at what are the products and services. So products are items consumed for personal use or business use. And I think the best word there would have been goods. That's why we said they are physical goods, and we have also the intangible, which are tangible, and we have then services, which are activities that deliver benefits to customers or businesses. The activities that deliver benefits to consumers or businesses. When you look at the products, they have the tangible and the intangible. So they have the goods, which are tangible, and we have the services that are intangible. When you say tangible, it's something that you can hold. You can hold this pointer. This is a tangible good. But I cannot touch a haircut. Until it is delivered, I see, but there's nothing I can hold. I say this is the haircut. So we say services are intangible. Then basically, because you cannot use any of the 5 senses to determine a service. Okay. Then we have reasons or the unique characteristics of services which differentiate them from goods. And the first one is they are intangible, or the intangibility nature of services. A service cannot be perceived through the 5 senses. That's how it becomes intangible. Then we have the other characteristic, the unique characteristic of a service, which is that services are perishable, or the perishability of services. Why do we say services are perishable? Because they cannot be stored to be used at a later date. For example, if a plane leaves Nairobi today to Mombasa and it was half full, they can never recover the other half empty seats. For that day, we say those seats are considered as lost. So for that reason, the services are perishable. Then the other unique characteristics of a service is inseparability, or inseparable, meaning that the consumption of services and the production of services happen simultaneously. Okay? So meaning that you cannot separate the service provider and the service receiver for a service to take place. So that's why the issue of inseparability. Then there is the other unique characteristic, number 4, that is variability or heterogeneous. Services are heterogeneous, or they are variable. They vary. They vary in that they are difficult to standardize, and they are different. There may be differences in quality when they are delivered. So you may see someone with a particular haircut and you want the same haircut, but when you go to the same barber, maybe the same time, the outcome might be a little bit different. Almost exact, but a little bit different. That's why you say services are variable. But there are measures that have been put in place to ensure that the variability issue of the services are minimized. For example, hiring the right personnel, having a service blueprint, something showing the processes that are required. Also training, continuous training of your personnel, and so on. Then the next topic, we need to know the difference between the goods and services. Again, another difference is that we have goods which are tangible and we have services. We have pure goods and we have pure services. But you have some products that fall in between, and that's the ones that are referred to as hybrid. So for example, A hairbrush is a pure good. It's tangible, you can buy, you can hold it, you can describe it and everything. But then a hair transplant, you may have the hair, yes, whatever, but there is that service of the transplanting. So meaning it's it's 2 in 1. So it's 2 there's a service and there's a product. And also there is a haircut. A haircut is pure service. Maybe another example for the hybrid is like the hotels, where we go expecting good services, but at the same time we expect good food. So a hybrid service will come in the hotel, whereby you go to the hotel, you're expecting quality food, which is tangible, and then you also require, you expect some ambience, some good customer service, some courtesy, responsiveness from the personnel there, and that will come in there as a hybrid. So we now look at the 5 levels of a product. So a product has 5 levels. And the first one is the core benefits. The second is the basic product. Third one is the expected product. And the 5th one is the potential product. So let's look at the core product. The core product is basically what is it that the customer is buying. When you take a hotel room, what is it you're really buying? You are buying some rest. You are buying some sleep. That is the reason why you went there and bought or paid for that particular hotel room. So is that inner need that urges the customer to buy something. That is the core benefit, the innermost, number 1. Okay, the innermost here, number 1, that is the core benefit. What is it that made you go buy that particular product? Okay, so no matter if it is a product or a service, the main aim of the customer is to satisfy their inner urge. That's what the core product does. Then we look at the basic product, and the basic product is the basic one that might satisfy the inner need of the consumer. On this stage, the product only contains those values that are totally necessary for it to function. So for example, you've bought sleep, you've bought rest. What are those basic products that you require to be able to satisfy that inner urge? So you want a comfortable bed, you want to see some clean room, a toilet or a washroom, and then those kind of things. They make that room comfortable enough for you to take that rest. And of course, no noise, okay? Because you're looking for some rest. And then the other one is the third one is what we call the expected product. These are the properties. These are properties that the product has and that are absolutely necessary for the consumer to think about buying that particular product. So for example, if you have booked that hotel room and you walk in there, you see there's a bed, there's a toilet or a washroom, there's a table, and so on. What are those expectations that you have? You want to see that bed is comfortable, it's clean. You want to see a functioning bathroom, proper lighting, no noise. What else should you expect? Some maybe water, okay? Such things. So those are the expected products. So the basic is what will satisfy the inner urge, but then the expected is those additionals that you expect to make it more functional and more comfortable for you as a customer. Then we have the augmented product, and the augmented product are those attributes of the product that can differentiate it from that of the competitor. What is that is in that room that is better or that makes it different from another room you had slept sometime? Okay, what makes it different? So you may find those are the additionals. The additionals, maybe they include the name, the design, the packaging, the overall quality, the additional functions like the installations, the after-sales service, the warranty, the home delivery, all these that are the augmented products. All those attributes that differentiate your product from the competitors. That's what is the augmented product. Then we have the final one, that is the final level, level 5, that is the potential product. And the potential product is the final product that is available on the market and that the consumer can buy. They include all the additional values and argumentations that the company finally includes in the product to differentiate it from the competitor's product. And that's why with the potential products, most organizations are continuously improving their products to ensure that they are able to have that potential product, whatever the consumers want. If they feel is lacking in something, they'll go back to their to their production department and see how they can make that particular product better and to satisfy the needs and the wants of the customers. Now we look at the product classification. We are finished with the levels of a product, and we are going to look at the product classification. A product can be classified into two major categories, that is the consumer products and industrial products. What are consumer products? They are those products that are bought for final consumption. They are used for final consumption. If I buy a book that I'll use for writing notes, that will make it a consumer product. Then we have industrial products, and these are the products that are bought by organization or individuals for further processing or to help in producing other products. Okay, so the consumer products are further divided into two, that is on the durability basis and also on the efforts involved in shopping. So when it comes to the durability, it's all about, we have durable products and you have non-durable products. Durable products are those that can stay a long time. When you buy a microwave or a fridge or a TV, it can take a long time, 10, 15 years down the line, is a durable product. Then we have the non-durables, and these are products that can easily go bad, and a good example would be the foodstuffs or the food products. Then we have the other category of the consumer products, and we have what we call the the shopping efforts involved. And the ones that are under the shopping efforts involved, we have four categories. That is the convenient products, shopping products, specialty products, and what we call the unsought goods. Let's look at the convenience products. These are goods that the customers usually purchase frequently, immediately, and with minimal buying efforts. So these are things that you just pick without much thinking. When you walk into a supermarket and you want a packet of milk, most likely you don't even bother checking the prices. You just pick and go pay and you move on. So this include, so the convenient goods include maybe things like bread, milk, and so on. The convenience goods are further broken down or further divided or further classified into three categories, and this is the staple goods, then the regular goods, the staple goods, the impulse goods, and the emergency goods. So the convenience goods that we call the staple goods, these are the ones that we use on daily basis, on regular basis. The rice, the flour, the bread, the milk, those are the staple goods. So they are purchased on regular basis. Then we have the impulse goods. This is where consumer purchase without any planning. These are goods that are purchased without any planning or such efforts. So for example, you may have walked into a supermarket to buy a product that you need, but then you see some chocolates or some sweets, and then you decide to pick some. Those are the impulse buying. That is the impulse goods, And then we have the emergency goods, and here we say that consumer purchase on urgent needs. So they are products that are bought only when a need is urgent. It's not something that you buy all the time. For example, you may have a headache. You think of buying an over-the-counter drug that may help you. Also, maybe ambulance services. Those are urgent goods, and etc. Then we go to the next category of the consumer products that are shopped, that are categorized under the shopping involved, the efforts involved in shopping, and these include the shopping goods. So convenient goods, we say, they are further classified into staple, emergency, and impulse. Then another category, another classification of the product, of the consumer product, is the shopping goods. And these are goods that the customers are heavily involved in the selection process, and they compare products on the basis of suitability, quality, price, features, packaging, and so on. They look at all those things that they are looking for, and that's why they'll compare from shop to shop. They take their time and before they buy. And basically these usually involve expensive products, which takes some good amount of money. So a good example would be furniture. It's not today. You don't buy a sofa set today and then tomorrow you are already planning to buy another one. So when you plan to buy a sofa set, you take your time, you compare things in terms of suitability, the shape, the quality, the price also. You have to look at the price range and so on. Then also the kitchen appliances, electronics, those major electronics, and so on, electrical appliances. We have the third category of the convenience good, that is the specialty goods. And these are goods which with unique characteristics or brand identification. They have unique characteristics or brand identification for which a sufficient number of buyers are willing to make a special purchase effort. So basically these are things that they're not an everybody's products. They are bought by special people or those people who are not price sensitive. When it says they are not price sensitive, they can buy those products at a very high price or high prices. So an example would be cars. Not all cars, but when you hear some cars like the Ferrari, those kind of things, jewelry, some sort of jewelry, some kind of watches, they are expensive in nature, so they are called specialty goods. They just make those people feel different about themselves. Then we have the unsought goods. The fourth category is the unsought goods, and these are goods the consumer do not know, or they know about them, but they never ever think of buying them. So that's why they are referred to as the unsought goods. Nobody wants to buy them. So, and that's why for this kind of goods, the people who market or who sell this particular goods use what we call aggressive selling or aggressive marketing. So there are a lot of promotional efforts are put behind the scene to ensure that the customers get aware and even go ahead and make a purchase of that particular product. For example, life insurance, blood donations, etc. So that comes to the end of the consumer products category, and then we look at the industrial products. For industrial products, they are classified into three. That's materials and parts, capital items, supplies, and the business services. When we say materials and parts, we are basically saying these are goods that enter the manufacturer's products completely. So, and they fall into two classes, the raw materials and the manufactured materials. Then we have the capital items. These are the long-lasting goods that facilitate developing or managing the finished product. So they include installations and equipments. So for example, the machines, the equipment that are used in particular companies, those ones will be considered as part of the capital items. Then we have the other, the supplies and business services, and these are short-listing goods or short-term goods and services that facilitate the developing and managing the finished products. So basically things like the lubricating oil, the stationary items, those kind of things. So we are still looking at the product, we are still at the marketing mix, and our emphasis is still on the product. So we are still on the product, and we are going now to look at the new product development, what we call the NPD. And new product development is a task that is undertaken by every other company. And this is a process of bringing a new product to the marketplace. So companies are continuously trying to come up with new products because of the various reasons which we are going to see. And you are looking at that innovative businesses thrive by understanding what their market wants. Again, I'll repeat that innovative businesses thrive by understanding what their market wants, making smart product improvement, and developing new products that meet and exceed the customer's expectations. So for any company or organization to survive, to grow, and to thrive, they must continuously undertake new product development process or new product development. And what are the reasons that companies develop new products? One is to add to the product portfolio, basically to add to the already product line that you have, or the product depth, or the product width. Those are factors that you're going to look into later. So we are basically adding to our number, the total number of products that we have as a company. For example, you may be coming up with product, you may have a product that only comes in 1 kilogram package only. But then due to demand and the needs that are there, you realize that you need to come up with another one that is 500 grams. So that one will also fall under the new product development because it's a change and it is supposed to meet a particular need of a particular group. Then also to create stars and cash cows for the future. So we have those, the stars, we have what we call the BCG matrix, and it depicts the stars and the cash cows of a product. Can be a star, it can be a cash cow, it can be a question mark, or it can be a dog. Most businesses want their product to be stars and cash cows because that's where a lot of profit is realized. And then the other reason is to replace declining products. Obviously, we have to keep checking what is that is not moving. Why is it the sales? Why have the sales declined? Is it because it is not able to compete well with the competitors' products? So for that reason, we replace the declining products. Then the other reason why companies develop new products is to take advantages of the new technologies. So with new technologies, you have to keep the organization must keep up, because if they are not evolving with the new technologies, at some point they find themselves behind, and the competitors will be ahead of them, and they might not be able to. Then the other one is to maintain or increase the market share. So you want to serve a particular market that is not adequately served. So you come up with a product that meets the needs, or you go do your research there, identify the needs, and for that reason you come up with a product that meets or serves that particular market that is not adequately served. Then obviously the other reason is, remember, every company or most businesses do not operate in vacuums. So there are other competitors, and for that reason they have to keep up to defeat their rivals. And then to keep up with, and also to keep up with their rivals. Then to maintain competitive advantage, to have an edge over the competitors, to be always ahead of the other competitors, and also to fill a gap in the market and to bring in new customers. So those are the main reasons. There could be more, but these are the main reasons why companies continuously develop new products. New product development is a process that has several stages, and for a company to come up with the best product, new product, they must go through the 8 processes that are involved in the new product development. And the first one starts with the idea generation, whereby the various ideas are pulled together so that the various people who can bring in the ideas, they are put in one pool, and then they start screening them. From the screening, they pick the best ones, where they develop a concept, and they do the testing, they do the business analysis, then the product is developed, then the test marketing, commercialization. So commercialization is basically when the product is launched or is introduced into the market. And of course, when a product has been introduced into the market, they must also review the performance in the market, so to see how the product is doing. Our next topic is the product life cycle. A product life cycle, popularly known as the PLC. And we can see that the PLC, or the product life cycle, is a model describing the evolution of product sales and profits throughout its lifetime. So every product has a life, and that life starts from the time it was introduced into the market to the time it will be withdrawn from the market, or basically when the sales will be so low that the company might think of withdrawing or divesting or selling it off to another company, or basically withdrawing it totally from the market. So a PLC has 4 stages, and each stage of the PLC has implications in marketing. So let's look at the 4 stages of the PLC. And the 4 stages starts, we have that figure there, where we have the one axis is on the sales volume, and the other one is the time. So it shows the duration of time it has been into the market. And mostly this time translates into years, it's not months. Basically mostly is years. So we find, we go to the first stage, which is the introduction. And at the introduction stage, this is where the product was introduced or launched into the market. What are some of the factors that we'll experience at the introduction stage? So the costs are usually very high. Remember, the product is being launched as new. The company has not achieved the production efficiency. Also, the distribution efficiency has not been achieved. And they're using a lot of money, or they're involved with a lot of distribution, promotion expenses, because people have to know that this product is there. So a lot of expenses are incurred in the promotion budget, and of course at that particular point we are not making any money, basically, because most of money is being taken away. Most of them become cost other than profits. Then there is also the slow growth, or the slow sales volume to start. The growth is so slow, so we are not expecting any sales growth. Then there is little or no competition. Remember, we are just launching the product. For that reason, we have little or basically no competition. The demand has to be created. Remember, that's why we are using so much. There is a very high expenditure at that particular point, because we are using all the resources we have to ensure that the product is known by people, and therefore we create the demand by the aggressive promotion. Then customers have to be prompted to try the products. As again, I was saying, there's a lot of aggressive selling at that particular. And we had said earlier that there is no profits, or basically they are negative or basically no profit at all. Then we go to the next stage, which is the growth stage. At a growth stage, here we have the costs are reduced due to economies of scale at this point, because the inclination starts to climb, as you can see from the diagram. This is the growth stage. So the inclination starts to accelerate at a very high rate, because the company is already achieving what we call the economies of scale, and the sales volume increases significantly. The public awareness increases. Also, the competition begins to increase with a few new players in establishing market, and so also there is the increased competition leads to price decrease. So this is one of the attractive stages where the competitors come in, because the companies are realizing very high profits. Then we have the maturity stage, and the maturity stage, you find that now the growth of sales somehow is growing, is high, but at a decreasing rate. So we almost get a constant or a flat curve there, because the sales volume are not going high despite the high profits. And so at that particular stage, the costs are lowered as a result of production volumes increasing and the experience curve effect. Then the sales volume peaks and the market saturation is reached. There is also the increased competition entering the market. Then also the prices tends to drop due to the proliferation of the competing products. And then brand differentiation and features diversification is emphasized to maintain or increase the market share, and also the industrial profits go down. We go to the fourth stage, which is the decline stage. At this point, you can see there is that dip. Okay, so with that dip, the following are the things that are experienced, or the characteristics that are experienced at this stage. So one is the cost become counter optimal, then the sales volume decline, prices and profitability diminishes, profits become more of a challenge, production distribution efficiency. So profits become more of a challenge of production distribution efficiency than increased sales. So you'll find that at this point, due to, remember at this point there's so many competitors, also the sales volume are declining, the profits are declining, the products have been in the market for some time, so there are other players who have come to play. So for that reason, the product goes down. And at this point, the company may decide to keep the product so that they are able to serve a particular group of people who are still buying, who are still loyal to that particular brand, or they might sell it to another company, and so on. So that was the PLC. Now we look at the diffusion of innovation. Diffusion of innovation is how new products are adopted by the consumers, and the rates at which they accept the new products. So with diffusion of innovation, we have the diagram here, which represent the adopters categories. The adopters categories highlight the different consumers and how they adopt, or their acceptance rate to new products, how fast or how slow they accept new products. We have different categories of people, and they have unique characteristics that make them fall in the innovators. Innovators are usually the very fast to try a new product. Okay. Then we have the early adopters. then the early majority, this is where the product is being tried more with the late majority, and then the last people who are usually the last ones to try the new products. You can see it takes the curve that looks like more of the PLC. So the early adopters will buy the product when it's at introduction stage. They are risk takers. They are not price sensitive, so they want to try new things. They are not brand loyal. They just want to switch to what is new and try. Okay, so we are going to look at each of those categories, and we start with the innovators. So the innovators basically are represented there by 2.5% of the population or of the target market, and are willing to try new innovations as they are open-minded, adventurers, and are often younger, better educated, and are more financially secure. So they try new things because they like just to be, because of their nature of the adventure. Then we have the early adopters that are represented by 13% of the target market, and they look at new products very differently from the innovators, and they consider the social aspects of being the first to own a product. That is the issue of like prestige. They feel prestigious to have tried the first new product in the market. They are heavy users of the media and more mainstream groups. So they rely, so we are saying they are heavy users of the media. They seek information all the time, so they want to use the product not because they have that more money, but they want to be the first ones to be considered as socially, that they were the first one to use that particular product. Then the other one is the early majority. The early majority, and this represents one of the highest percentage of the target market. That is that 4% of the target market, and they do not. So the early majority do not wish to be the first to try new technologies, nor do they wish to be the last to adopt. So if early adopters accept the new innovation, then the early majority will begin to purchase. So once the early majority have adopted an innovation, then these products are no longer new or cutting edge, but have gone mainstream. Then we have the late majority, which also is a very high percentage of the target market, which is that 4%. And the late majority are older and more conservative than the other groups, and that they consider risks. So adoption by the late majority will only occur if the product is considered a necessity or out of the social pressure, or if the social pressure are great. So then we have the final, and these are categories of people who are buying this particular product when is no longer considered new. It has been on the mainstream, but that's the time they are trying to buy the product. Who are these people? They basically represent quite a percentage of the target market. That is the 16%. So laggards. So laggards are great followers of the traditions and are last to adopt an innovation. By the time these groups have adopted an innovation, the product is often made obsolete by the next innovation. So you can see they are almost adopting at the decline stage of the PLC. What are some of the factors that influence the rate of adoption or the rate of acceptance of new products? So there are factors that influence the rate at which the products are being accepted or being adopted. So one of them is the relative advantage. Relative advantage. So relative advantage is the degree to which an innovation is seen to be better than the idea or the product that it replaces. So it has a better satisfying aspect than the previous one. It has an edge over the previous product. So for that reason, the consumer feel comfortable dropping the previous product or the older product to the new product. Then the other factor is compatibility. Compatibility is how consistent the innovation is with the values, experiences, and the needs of the potential adopters. So how is it in line, or how is it able to meet the people it's targeting in a better way than the ones that are there? For example, if you look at then the other factor influencing the rate of adoption is complexity. So complexity is on how difficult the innovation is to understand. The more difficult it is to understand, the more people want to shy from buying. The more easier or user-friendly a product is, the more the consumers want to try the new product. Then the triability. The triability is the extent to which the innovation can be tested or experimented with before a commitment is adopted. A commitment to adopt is made. And that's why when a company introduces a new product, they want to package it in small samples that people can use and experience, and for that reason they're able to make an informed choice or an informed decision to adopt or not to adopt. And then we have the other factor, which is observability or communicability. And this is the extent to which the innovation provides the tangible results. So what is that you can observe that this particular new product is able to achieve or able to satisfy? So those are the factors influencing the rate of adoption. So having that is the far we can go with the product. There's much more, but we have to look at the most important, and that was part of the product. So for the product, we can be able to comfortably say we have understood what is a product, the different forms a product can take, the levels of a product, the classification of products, and of course the new product development and the factors influencing the rate of adoption. So let's look at the other P, that is the price. So on our own, we may look at the factors affecting the pricing policies of an organization. But we need first to understand that it covers pricing objectives and the pricing policies. So pricing covers the pricing objective, and the pricing objective can be survival, to maximize profit, to increase market share, and so on. All those are pricing objectives. And also it covers the pricing policies. So price is the monetary value of a product. It includes the discounts, the allowances, and the terms of credit, etc. Price is an effective means of competition. It can also act as a device of promotion. Remember, there are prices that is used where you make a difference of 5 shillings and you have so many people buying your product and not buying the competitor's product. That's why we are saying it can act as a device of competition. Prices is also one of those factors that prices is one of those one of the P's that is very important, because economically it brings in money to the organization. It is how well you price that determines how well the products will do in the market. So there are various pricing policies. There are also various pricing methods, and they will be discussed later. Then we go to the next P, which is the distribution or place. And in the distribution or place, it covers the distribution, the channels of distribution, including all the middlemen and the facilitating agencies involved in getting the processes and the title to the products to the consumer. So you find that place is that element of the marketing mix that allows the products to move from the producer to the consumer. So physical distribution, which is concerned with the transporting, warehousing, storing, and handling of products. So we have different types of the distribution channels. Remember, we have different channel members, as we had mentioned earlier, like the wholesalers, the retailers, and the agents. And you'll find that some companies just use direct distribution. Direct distribution is whereby the producer directly sells to the consumer. Mostly you find these are industrial products, or they go for the industrial users because they buy in bulk, and for that reason they sell directly without using the channel members, or the people we call intermediaries. Then we have, and that one we call the zero level, the direct one, or direct or zero level channel. Then we have the retail, the second level, one level, which is the producer, the retailer, and the consumer. So we only have one channel member, and that is the retailer. Then we have the second level, where we use the wholesaler and the retailer as the channel members. Also, another two level is where we use the distributor and the retailer. And then we also have a third level where we use the agent, the wholesaler or distributor, and the retailer as the channel member. So we have those four levels of the channel of distribution. Promotion. Promotion is the fourth P of the 4 Ps. And promotion is all about communication. And promotion function is to inform, to educate, to persuade, to remind the customers about what the organization is offering. So it covers all means of marketing communications designed to persuade buyers to purchase the product. And there are 4 main devices of promotion, or what we call the promotional mix elements, which act as persuasive and informational ingredients. And these include personal selling, advertising, sales promotion, and public or public relations. So that makes the end of the 4 Ps. We can read more on the 4 Ps because there's so much to read about the 4 Ps, and this brings the end to our class. Thank you very much.
These televised lectures supplement our robust online learning going on our MKU online platform. You can view more on our televised lectures via our online platform. We are in a digital era, and Mount Kenya University knows this. The following are the steps to follow so as to complete your online application. Download the application form from the website www.mku.ac.ke. Attach copies of your academic certificates and ID. Pay the application fees via M-Pesa pay bill number 270988. Your ID is the account number. 2,000 shillings is the charge for a postgraduate. You can also deposit in the bank accounts provided on the website. Then email all the above to apply@mku.ac.ke.